Governor Doug Burgum announced today that all bars, restaurants, personal care businesses, and state facilities in North Dakota will remain closed until further notice. That announcement extends the governor's earlier executive order by 2 weeks, from April 6th to April 20th. The governor says he will look at the issue again on April 15th. Here are the numbers for today. North Dakota has 21 new positive cases of the coronavirus today. 3 of those cases are in Cass County. This is the 3rd day in a row that the numbers have climbed and brings the total number of cases in the state to 147. 39 people have recovered from COVID-19. Over 4,600 have been tested. 26 are hospitalized and 3 people have died. The other big news coming out of Governor Burgum's daily briefing, unemployment claims. The governor is waiving the mandatory 1-week waiting period before people can file.
Waiving the waiting week does not increase the amount of money that any individual is eligible to receive. It just helps get those payments to someone sooner. So if you're eligible, if you qualify, you've got an opportunity to not have to wait a week before you get our check.
Governor Burgum says his decision on unemployment claims is retroactive to the time when claims first started coming in from the COVID-19 crisis. You can head over to our VNL News app to see the counties affected in North Dakota and Minnesota. You can also stay updated on schools and closings and a full list of online services for North Dakota residents. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, the total number of confirmed cases has jumped to 689. That's an additional 60 cases from yesterday. The virus is also responsible for 5 more deaths, bringing the total to 17. Most of those cases are around the Twin Cities area, but there are 7 in Clay County, 4 in Beltrami, and 1 in Wilkin County. Again, the number of positive COVID-19 cases in Minnesota has risen to 689. Over 21,000 people have been tested and 342 people are out of isolation. A total of 54 people have been hospitalized and 27 people are in the ICU. The state now has 17 deaths due to COVID-19.
This is not the time to be down at Island Park loading up the basketball courts and loading up the skate park, and that's not physical distancing. That's not what we need right now.
City leaders and health experts are urging parents and kids to stay away from playgrounds and basketball courts to keep them safe from COVID-19. But how bad can playing at the park really be? Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with local doctors today who say germs can live for days on the playground.
Although our warm weather has playgrounds practically calling kids names, experts are urging to find other outside activities until COVID-19 is finally over.
So even if you're thinking, well, I don't see anybody else there, it's just my own child, there still could be some risk that someone who was there playing previously could have been infected and left some droplets on the equipment.
Can they control themselves and not take their contaminated hands and potentially touching their face, their nose, their mouth, their eyes?
Playgrounds and parks are not cleaned regularly, making them a breeding ground for germs and viruses that experts say can live for days.
Stainless steel, smooth surfaces like plastic, they actually live longer on those surfaces than, say, compared to actually in the air.
When you're out playing ball or you're at the skate park, you might need to use the bathroom. You might need to use the water fountain. There's surfaces that you're still going to come into contact with in that setting.
And as for hanging out with the neighbor kids, both Hansen and Prabhu say that should be put on hold as well to prevent them from passing anything on to you or other family members. But this doesn't mean your kids shouldn't go outside, as walking, biking, and playing in the yard are all good and safe ideas. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Dr. Prabhu says when it comes to passing other people walking on the sidewalk to not worry too much if the 6 feet rule is broken, saying the rule matters more for prolonged contact. A big storm looks to be on track for the region, meaning we could be in for a wintry mix of precipitation. Let's get the latest from our First Alert Storm team. Hey, Hutch.
Hey, Andrea, I got to tell you, it's a very complex winter system because we have temperatures warm enough for rain, and that's going to convert to snow in some places, but we are still expecting 5 to 10 inches of snow. For many areas, isolated could still see up to a foot, and we are expecting that wet, heavy snow, but we're also expecting some of us to get ice with it, and that ice could make very slippery roads, so travel will get difficult, and don't slide into a water-filled ditch. That could be deadly. So Here's a look at what's going on this evening. Rain in our western counties, and we have it changing to snow already. As we look up near the Bottineau area here, see some heavier bands of snow pushing in towards Towner County. So right now showing up as rain, but likely is going to be transitioning for you already. And I'm telling you, already near the Bottineau rec area, we are seeing 6 inches of snow already from those heavier bands. Here is a look around the region. Dunseith up there north central, very snow covered, a little bit of snow out on Highway 83 in central North Dakota. We also have some ice and icy conditions in Drake. So we'll continue to watch this. We definitely have a system working its way in. By morning, many of us will see rain, sleet, and snow all day. Details here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A man is facing disorderly conduct and also a terroristic threat charge after Moorhead police say they took a call of a man coughing on people at the Moorhead Cashwise. Just before 2 this afternoon, Moorhead police responded to that Cashwise off of 34th Street because a caller said there was a man inside intentionally coughing on people and claiming to be infected with COVID-19. Officials say the man was originally going to be charged with disorderly conduct, but officers say on the way to jail, he threatened the life of an officer and is now facing an additional charge of terroristic threats. Derek Swenson with the Moorhead Police Department says if someone purposely exposes their bodily fluids, they can be charged. The man has not yet been identified. Authorities have released new information surrounding a gruesome murder in Perham, Minnesota. It happened late Monday night when officers responded to the 600 block of 1st Avenue South for a disturbance. When officers arrived on scene, 40-year-old Derek Sweary told officers he killed his roommate in self-defense. Court documents state Sweary admitted to stabbing and shooting his roommate 16 times. Brandon Snyder was pronounced dead at the scene. Sweary is now charged with second-degree murder as well as felony possession of a firearm. If convicted, Sweary faces up to 55 years in prison. Sanford Health is announcing there are currently 4 patients being treated for COVID-19 at their hospital. They also say 8 employees have tested positive for the virus. Officials say 90 people were tested at drive-through testing locations yesterday alone. The check is in the mail, or at least it's on the way. Those government stimulus checks should be rolling off the presses and on the way soon to millions of Americans. Taxpayers who have direct deposit attached to their last filing will receive their money that way. The money is part of the $2 trillion relief bill passed last week and signed by President Trump. Taxpayers can expect anywhere from $1,200 to $2,400 based on their income and filing status. The amounts for eligible Americans are based on the latest tax filing, either 2018 or 2019. Essentia Hospital is asking for your help in collecting donations for healthcare professionals. Today was the first day the hospital set up a drop-off location. It's at the University South Clinic. Essentia says people should pull up into the valet parking loop and stay in their cars. You can leave food, but Essentia says what it really needs are masks, gloves, eye protection, and gowns, equipment that will protect employees during the fight against COVID-19.
It's really hard to know if we're going to have enough to get through the surge that could be coming. And so we are asking the community to help us bring donated items to us so we can make sure we have everything we need.
You can drop off your items every Wednesday and Thursday from 10 to 2 at the South University Clinic until the end of this month.